Iberian Show at Westpoint in Exeter. So originally I had planned to take Il Fulvio for some of the showing classes and the dressage, but then I got my hospital date through for last weekend and I had a small operation, so I'm absolutely fine, but riding is a little bit on the quiet side at the moment, and so I decided it was best not to take Elf. So my husband and I are coming away for a little weekend. Well, it's just an overnight stay in the horse box because we've got the bed, we've got the gas stove, and so it's quite comfy for a little night away. And hoping to see a few friends. Two of the ladies that come and ride the horses for me are coming as well with their kids or partners, so it should be a really fun time. So I thought I'd bring you along, show you some of the classes and some of the entertainment that's going to be going on, and I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Provided as well for the champions.
champion in PRE is Lego Rapunzel with Paul Betten.
Esa guitarra
So we had a really comfy night in the lorry actually. It is quite spacious in here. I'll just turn the camera around in a minute and just do you a little look of what our very cramped space is like, but actually it works quite well for us. So yeah, we stayed up quite late, had a few drinks with some of the Working Equitation people, and they're really nice. Some of them I haven't met before, or I've only seen in passing at other shows. But yeah, they were really friendly and very welcoming, and yeah, gave me lots of advice on all the Working Equitation stuff as well, which was great. So yeah, we're going to head off soon, and then I will do a debrief catch up when I get home. So I thought I'd just show you quickly the inside of our sleeping area in the lorry. So this is the back door, which is actually wide enough to fit a horse out. So if you have an emergency and for any reason the ramp is damaged and you can't open it, you can actually get a horse through this double door from the horse area, opens up, and you can get the horse out the back here. So that was one of the main reasons I wanted to get my horse box from AM Horse Boxes. I'd really recommend them. They worked with me to build this to my spec. It's on an older chassis, but I had the top part of the lorry built because it's so difficult to find a 3.5 ton lorry that's got a bed for 2 people. So yeah, and we didn't really need things like saddle. I wasn't bothered about saddle lockers and stuff. I just wanted us to be able to use it as a bit of a camper van for things like this as well. So in here, this is the wardrobe. So I can keep sort of saddle pads and jackets and stuff in there, and behind that there is a panel that makes up part of the bed. The other panel for the bed comes from underneath the horses' heads in the horse area, and then the 2 panels slot in between these bits either side, and then all the cushions come down and make into a nice double bed. So yeah, it's actually only about I think 2 inches smaller than a standard double bed, so you know it's a bit it's close for comfort, but it's fine for us just for a couple of nights away, and just to not have to have a B&B or whatever when you go to shows. It saves so much money. And then in here there is a burner and a sink, which has a gas bottle and a water bottle underneath here that services it. So yeah, it's really nice because we can just have a cup of tea once we put the bed away. And also there is a dining table that stores in here, which is just like a little square dining table and a pole for it that lives in the wardrobe, and then that just pops into this sort of hole here, so you can actually put a little table up and sit either side on this bench seat and have dinner or whatever. So yeah, it's really well designed, and yeah, I would definitely recommend AM Horse Boxes if you're looking to get something made, because you know, we would have really struggled to find anything with a double bed. So, and definitely not as a double bed. Sometimes they're a single in the back and a single in the luton, but we don't really like the sort of crampedness of sleeping in a luton. So yeah, it just works really well for us. So, a summing up of the Iberian Show. I'm going to be very honest with my review. There were some issues with the show. I'll go into that in a second, but I think we really enjoyed it overall. I think if you went as a non-horsey person, it probably might have been a bit boring for you. The main reason for that being the lack of trade stands. So I think that was the main kind kind of complaint that people had, that they'd gone earlier in the day before the evening show expecting there to be this sort of large array of trade stands, and there were only about 10 trade stands compared to, I think there were meant to be about 50 trade stands. So I can understand why people would be disappointed if you've travelled, especially with kids in tow, and then you get there and there's not really much to do apart from buy food. So yeah, I mean, that didn't bother us personally. I hadn't gone for the shopping. I went there to catch up with friends, see people competing that I knew, and obviously watch the evening performance and camp and have some fun, having a few drinks with friends in the evening. So, you know, that didn't affect us at all, but I know it did other people. I thought there were very unwarranted complaints about the food. That we found the quality of the food was really good. Everything that we had was very tasty. I thought the food was good value. We had the paella with beef stew, which I think was £10, and it was a huge portion. It was, you know, a proper evening meal, to the point that I couldn't eat all of mine and had to give some of it to my husband. So yeah, and I think people also sometimes forget how expensive it is to just even attend these shows as a trade stand owner. I mean, having run the Wide Boot company for a while, and I've had other businesses in the past where I've gone to these equine shows, it's a massive undertaking just to get there. Your insurance, you know, if you've got like a trailer that you've got to set up, or a marquee to put your stuff in, or a gazebo or whatever, but all of that costs money. The signs that you have to have printed with everything, your staff, especially for the food stands, you've got to take enough food, possibly waste some of that if it doesn't all sell. So, you know, I understand why the food isn't cheap at these events, and I think that's just across the board at any big events now. The New Forest show was the same, Badminton was the same. You know, you are always going to be looking at about £6 to £8 for an alcoholic drink, and food is very rarely under £6, apart, you know, maybe you get some chips for a bit less than that, but most of the food is going to be £6 to £12 at a show, I think. So I don't think the food, or the complaints about the food pricing or the quality, were fair, really. We found it perfectly good quality and fairly priced. It was lovely to watch my friend's filly that won the pre-section. So we watched the championship of that, which was nice to watch, and obviously, you know, part of the reason to go is to support friends. And then we waited for the evening performance, and we really enjoyed the evening performance. I have to say, the range of things that they put on was, you know, it was really fun. The music was great, the sound was very good. Possibly a little bit less flamenco dancing would have been better. Some of it was a little bit long-winded with the dancing, but other than that, I think all the horsey stuff was really entertaining and fun. The quality of the horsemanship was brilliant, and you know, the costumes, everything. You know, we just thought it was a really good show. And also one of the sections, there was a guy singing. I didn't even realise that it was a live performance until I looked down and saw him with his guitar and microphone, because his voice was so amazing. It just came across on the PA system, and I thought it was just a track that they were playing. So, you know, I think there were actually some really, really good points about the show. And the evening performance on the Saturday was definitely one of those. I know there were some complaints about the Friday evening performance because there were some delays between each of the sections. At the end of the day, it's the first time this show has been at that arena, so it was going to always be a bit of a teething process. Just, you know, that first show is, you're going to learn from the mistakes, and I think there was probably a little bit less commentary or something on the Friday night. I think they added a bit more in terms of information on the commentary for the Saturday performance, which we went to. So, you know, I can only speak as I find, and I have to say we enjoyed the Saturday night show. And then after the show ended, we had a nice time hanging out in the plaza. I had a couple of drinks with some friends that we met there. And then after that, we went back to the stabling area and had another couple of drinks with some of the Working Equitation team and some other friends that were there. And, you know, they were all very welcoming, and we had a really lovely evening. So Yeah, obviously I didn't have a horse in tow because of my operation. I didn't take Elf. Would I take Elf? Possibly. It's a very buzzy atmosphere. I would say if you've got a horse that's not, you know, bothered by crowds and things, then you'd probably be absolutely fine and they would love it. And let's face it, a lot of our Iberian horses love a crowd and love showing off. So yeah, if you've got that type of horse, then you would be absolutely fine. For Elf, we are just kind of getting our teeth into going out to some of these bigger shows. I think it would have definitely been too much for him this year. Possibly next year, if it goes ahead, we might be more ready for that kind of atmosphere. So yeah, it will remain to be seen if it runs next year. I think the lady who's running it has said she may not do it next year now. I think, you know, because she has had quite a lot of bad feedback on social media. But like I say, speak as you find. We enjoyed it. We thought the quality of the evening performance was excellent, and that was the main reason we went. And I thought, you know, what you got for the money was perfectly good value for the evening performance. Daytime tickets probably not so much so, but you know. So yeah, that's my opinion. I'm obviously just my opinion, so other people will have different ones. But yeah, I hope it does go ahead again, so we'll see. So maybe we'll go next year, maybe we won't. And I hope you've enjoyed joining us for a little look around it. See you soon. Bye.